What is up, everyone? Welcome into the Wildcast Instacast Postgame show. I am Adam from the podcast. We do have a chat working. It's going to take some time to get used to this whole YouTube thing. It's not just a plug and play like before. But again, thank you for everyone tuning in. This is the postgame show as the Wildcats get a 8-5 victory over the Armada at the Avenir Centre. We're going to go quickly around the queue here. Halifax getting a 7-0 victory over St. John. Valdor 6-2 over Gatineau. Quebec 3-1 over Rimouski. Final in a shootout. Drummondville 2-1 over Shawinigan. And after two periods, it is 4-1 Victoriaville over Rouyn-Noranda. Again, here at the Avenir Centre, the Wildcats 8-5. Winning is fun. Winning is fun. It's what I always like to say when I start these things. But this was definitely outscoring your problems. And special teams was definitely a problem for the Wildcats on both sides. Power play and penalty kill. But yeah, they outscored their problems tonight. They just kept chugging away and were able to come out with an 8-5 victory. Let's get into this one. First period, the Eagles legend, as I like to call him. He's been a Wildcat pain in our side when he played with hey David. Been a Wildcat pain in the side when he played with the Sea Dogs for a few years there. Josh Lawrence on the power play. I don't think Filion saw it. This one was an absolute rocket over his shoulder. I believe he was screened as well. Just a beauty of a shot by Lawrence. His fourth of the year. About 5 minutes into this one, gets the Armada on the board. And then the guy that's kind of been settling the ship. Oh, it'd be cool if my computer would work. For this team, Charles Baudouin, just over 2 minutes later, takes it down the ice on a 2-on-1. I got no computer, so this should be fun, guys. Here we go. Goes down on a 2-on-1. He had actually, I think it was almost a 3-on-1. Defenseman slides down. He doesn't make the pass, which I was like, he opens up Gravel just a little bit, slides it in, giving the Wildcats the tie, 6-5, kind of getting things going. And then a bit of a greasy one as Nick Pavan. He's back second game. He was up on the third line tonight as Auger wasn't playing, so. Bishop was up on the second line, but Mueller does a lot of the work coming out of the corner, gets it to the front of the net. Nicholas Pavan jumps it over. Really be cool if I had a computer working. I apologize for this. Might have to go to the phone here. If you guys know anything about the post-game shows and the technology, not that often as we get going in this one. Anyways, Nicholas Pavan gets his first of the season. Giving us the 2-1 lead. And then about 6 minutes left in the first period. Grenier, just a nice play. Gets a pass from Daniel, brings it in, gets it back to Iasenza. Nice pass over to Grenier. He's able to kind of outweight the sliding defender again. Moves in, wrists the shot past Gravel. And it is 3-1 Wildcats. It was all Wildcats in that first period. Actually, the first 5 minutes was not Wildcats at all. It was like, are you guys ready to go here? And then you got into – then the Wildcats kind of started to pick it up. Goals started to come, and they kind of rebounded there, having a 3-1 lead, and then they took a penalty. Which penalty was that? Barbashev? Yeah, high-sticking penalty on Barbashev. And again, Josh Lawrence. Second goal of the game, second goal in the power play. So right at that point, the Armada are 2 for 4, or yeah, 2 for 2 on the power play in that first period. And Josh Lawrence had both of their goals. So they had a 3-2 deficit for the Armada going into the second period. So you're kind of hoping that second period's not always our best friend. This one, 13-10 in shots in the second period. But again, Blainville jumps on it. And again, in the Alex Chandron, second period gets them on the board. Hey, my computer's back working. Let's see how long it takes me to actually get back on the internet. And then I'll have maybe some of these goals from Marty Kingston. But John Drawn gets them to tie at 3-3. And then Alexi Daniel. Worst part is I don't remember a lot of these goals. Alexi Daniel gets a pass from, I believe, Lounsbury, kind of the back. Was it the backhand? Was that the backhanded one? I don't remember. Anyways, Alexi Daniel gets his second of the season. We're back in front. Then Braden Schmidt scores. Josh Lawrence. So that was after 2. I'm going to try and get this through so I can get some of your questions. If you guys got questions while we're going, I apologize for this. It's kind of, I just learned how to put the chat on. I got the microphone going. Now my computer, because I want to have sounds like I always do, it's not going to work because, well, technology hates me. And so anyways, so that was after 2. 4-4. After 2, it was oh yes, the Braden Schmidt goal. That's the one. Okay. 7 seconds left. They get the draw to Fillion's left, I believe. You got to win a draw. Got to win a draw there. Thanks, Michael. The chat is working. Nice. I can see you guys' questions. So, and of course, it will. I think I hit the right button so that when people watch this later on, they'll actually see the questions and whatnot. I am going to have phone calls at some point, so you guys can phone in on the show. But I realized after recording last week or on Friday that, well, I can't have the microphone working and have the phone calls because of the way the rig is set up. So unfortunately, no phone calls this week, which I really wouldn't mind because of my computer being garbage right now. Anyways, Braden Schmidt scores with 0.7 seconds left. I don't know how. You don't, you just got to win a draw there. You got to freeze a draw. You got to tie up a draw. I'm not even sure how that kind of happens. That Schmidt shouldn't have a chance, that like a wide open chance in the dot, and he puts it in. I'm not blaming Fillion. I think it might have been a bit of a knuckler got up over him, but either way, you can't have that when you're taking the lead. There's 4 to 6 seconds left before the end of the period. Those goals are usually backbreakers, and this one worked out. It wasn't a backbreaker, but usually those goals end up being backbreakers. Connor S., great game tonight. Got to be more disciplined, especially on the power play. Yes, absolutely. We're going to get into the power play situation at the end of the third period recap. I'm hoping I get some computer here, but if not, we're just going to wing it. The problems that the Wildcats had earlier in the season when they went into St. John and Shawinigan and Sherbrooke was they were taking about 7 penalties a game. And you can't win when you're defending that much, especially when the other team has a 50% clip on the power plays. Yes, I would like to restore the pages on the computer. You just can't. You can't play discipline. You can't play undisciplined and expect to win games in the queue. You just can't. So that's why I kind of said off the hop here, the Wildcats outscored their problems tonight as special teams was one of their major problems in here. We get into the third period. You're kind of hoping that this isn't something that's, that late goal is going to just kind of crush the Wildcats. Pause that so we don't get play-by-play. Let's see if I got the goals here. We'll go all the way back. What do we got here? Brandon, what are your thoughts on Gravel constantly moving, can't stand still? Oh, he was so aggressive, pushing players, shoving barbs. I don't mind. I don't, hate it from a goaltending standpoint. You're the guy. That's your crease. That's your area. If that's how he stays involved in games, that's who he is, right? He's when I played net, I didn't like guys in and around me. If you're going to stand in front of the net, you're expected to take some little bit of punishment, and that's his type of style, and maybe that helps him stay engaged in the game. The Wildcats had 37 shots, so he was busy there, but maybe that helps him stay engaged in the game. I don't know, but we finally got a computer working, so let's see if we can get some. We'll run through the goals real quick here. So here's Charles Baudouin's goal, courtesy of Marty Kingston on Harvesters FM.
Here comes Baudouin. Looks like 3 Wildcats with Grenier. Baudouin moving in front of the net, trying to get a shot away. They score!
Again, he had Grenier on one side, and then he had Bishop on the other side. He ends up keeping it himself, puts the puck in the net. Here's the call on Nick Pavin's goal. Oh, how if I had some sound?
Mueller and Nick Pavon steps into his man and knocks him flying. A shot in front, rebound, they score! No, yes!
No, yes!
It's in. Nick Pavon!
Nick Pavon standing on the side of the net. He's able to chip it up over Gravel. Here is the third goal from Grenier. Again, he just walks in, kind of takes his time.
The blue line, Isenza. Nice play in the corner to Alexis Daniel. 2 seconds ago, power play is over as the Cats have the puck. Here's Grenier. Grenier not shooting. There it is. They score! That's opening day!
Just a smart play, outweighting the defender, sliding across. And that would that get us 3-1. So then it was 3-2 after one, and then here was Alexi Daniels' goal.
Nice pass on the right side. Baudouin hitting center. Baudouin shooting it in just outside the blue line, bouncing in front. There's a play in front. They score! Captain Daniel!
All right, so that one wasn't the backhand. The backhand one was in the third period. So we're all caught up now. We're in the third period, and early on in the third period, again, Wildcats take a penalty, and I think this one was at the end of the. Was this at the end? 104. So Barbashev with the slashing. So kind of can't. Oh no, this was the. Yeah, all right. So Poulin and Alexi Daniel get into it in behind the net. Poulin and Danielle, they're going off for roughing, and Danielle grabs his helmet. And from where I sit in 108, looked like he kind of maybe gave it a little toss. Others said he just kind of dropped it and kind of rolled off. Either way, he gets the extra unsportsmanlike conduct. Either way, you can't have that from the captain. Just give the helmet to the official, whatever, drop it down. Maybe it looked like he threw it. I don't know, but just you can't have that from your captain. You just can't. You were going to have an even up. We end up going on the penalty kill, and Josh Lawrence gets his third as he just 3 for 6 on the power play for the Armada. Josh Lawrence has 3 goals. I think I quit life with quarter computers. All right, what other questions we got here? Thought he did a dive to go in front of the net. The ref was quite funny. Oh, I missed. I didn't see the dive if he did. And then so you're up. You're down 5-4 at that point, and just first of all, you had the goal with under a minute left. Then you give a goal within the first 2 minutes. You're just wondering, is this just not going to be our night? And nope, that was it. The Wildcats just kind of took this one over. Miles Mueller in the dot, center of the ice. He just lets a rocket go for his fourth. The Wildcats getting the Wildcats to tie, and then the captain totally redeems himself with a bit of a broken play. LaBelle with kind of the backhand pass to him. He gets the backhand off the. I think it was maybe knuckling because it looked like Gravel didn't quite have a chance at it. But either way, Alexi Danielle gets us the lead 6-5, and then Miles Mueller gets his 5th, giving us the 7-5 lead. And then 15 seconds later, Hugo Marcel just fires it at the net, and it is 8-5. So again, the Wildcats just kind of outscoring their problems. And penalty kill was special teams is generally going to be a factor in the game. The Armada go 3 for 6. The Wildcats go 0 for 6. And some of those 0 for 6s were penalties that we had the power play, and then all of a sudden they took a penalty. They took a stupid penalty. Barbs takes they called it slashing, but it was slashing to an area. Can't have that, especially when you're on the power play. Alexi Danielle dropping the helmet or tossing the helmet, I guess, can't have that. The one that I didn't understand in this one, and I kind of put a tweet out as Jeremy was busy tonight, so I was doing both Twitter and Instagram. Who was it that had the hit from behind? The computer's not working. So Felix DeRose. And I'm going to get the video, and I'm going to have it on Twitter. But Moran is standing. He turns his back like every player does, and it's not like he turned it quickly. Like LaRose had time to go in, kind of maybe bear hug him, poke away, but he actually puts him into the boards. And I just don't understand, because when I was playing hockey, checking from behind, hit from behind, done. You were gone. That was your night. And now it's 2 minutes. Is it because guys have to be on the ice to be injured? Moran or Mercier got off to the bench, got back in the game. Not right away, but he did get back into the game. So I hope that doesn't factor into it. But the issue I have is we're so worried about fighting. And, there's the 5 minute and the extra 10 minute for fighting. Well, you're literally agreeing to punch a guy in the face, and you're worried about that being about player safety, but the blind sides and the hit from behinds are 2 minute penalties, and then they're done. So it's like, what do you want, right? Like, and that one kind of bugged me, because that's a pretty significant part of the game. And then of course the Rose and Moran get the roughing. So we do end up getting the 2 minute power play, which we don't score on. but does the game change if that's a 5-minute power play, right? So it's just like, and I'm not blaming the officials in Mills and Maillet, because generally they like to be the show. I'm just in general of all hockey, I don't understand how that's not 5 minutes and like a 5 or at least a game misconduct, even if it's 2. It used to be a game misconduct penalty. So, and then poor Mercier gets the just trying to make a move, ends up getting kind of hip checked, just avoids it. Anthony Hamel, not a big fan of it. He goes after it was Cardinal, I think, it was Cardinal who got the tripping as he tried to. It was more of a hip check, which again, hip checks are clean. I wouldn't have had a problem if it was a hip check, but Hamel takes issue with it because Mercier had just been hit from behind and now he's getting hip checked. And I don't know if it was maybe Mercier tried to jump to avoid it, made it look worse, but credit to Hamel for getting in there. Not that happy with Cardinal, which I kind of thought we might not get a power play out of this, but we end up getting the power play out of it. They don't take advantage of it, so. But yeah, this one was a wild one. Filion with 32 saves tonight. Your hardest worker of the game. I mean, you had a few choices, and whoever was going to be hardest worker wasn't going to be a star. Miles Mueller with 2 goals. I mean, he was all over the ice all night. He had the two goals, so he was the hardest worker. What was his face-off? He was pretty good on face-offs tonight, I thought, if he had some. Hang on. I got to look on the old phone because my laptop is like, oh, I'm going to work, and now I'm not. And I'm going to work, and now I'm not. So at some point, I'm going to put this whole show together. I promise. But to all of you that are here, I appreciate it. Miles Mueller, he went 8 for 10 and 8 for 11 in the draw. So yeah, he was the hardest worker. Your 3 stars, Charles Baudouin, who had a goal. I got to go rip down here. What did Baudouin have? A goal and an assist. Your 2nd star was Josh Lawrence, Eagles legend Josh Lawrence, as he had 3 goals, 1 assist for the Armada. And then your 1st star was the captain, Alexis Daniel, who had 2 goals, and I think he had an assist. What did he got? 2 goals, 1 assist. Was a +4. So obviously that seems to be a no-brainer for your 1st star. What is Lotion's point streak at now? Man, I'd love to find that out. I think it's like 4 games, 5 games. Let's hit the old phone and find out. Thank God for technology, right, kids? Thank God for technology. Lotion is on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-game point streak. 7-game point streak. He's got 4 goals and 4 assists in that 7-game point streak. So since Valdor, 3 goals in that one, 1 assist against St. John, goal and assist against Gatineau, St. John with a goal, 2 assists against Charlottetown, Baie-Comeau a goal, and then an assist tonight. So well done, DJ. I hadn't even actually thought about his stat. Could put him in for candidate for player of the week, but I think I know where I'm going to go on that one. But yeah, this is a game where you're lucky. It's good to get the 2 points. You couldn't have 3 losses in these 3 games because, I mean, it was bad enough we got honorable mention from the CHL for the point streak in 8 straight and then come out and lose 2. So it's good to at least salvage 2 points out of this weekend. But look, you can't play like that against Halifax on Tuesday in Halifax. They're going right now. When you're expecting something and then it just doesn't work and it just you're trying to do this off the phone. So again, I apologize. I will have this figured out at some point. That's hopefully the goal. Again, I appreciate everyone jumping over from Instagram to here. This isn't quite as smooth as it usually goes. It will get better. Where's the standings there? Halifax is overall Maritimes Division. Let's go conference. Halifax right now, 10-2 for 23 points. Moncton's 9-5, 19 points. That's why this one was big to kind of close that gap a little bit. But, Halifax has won their last they're 6-2. We're 7-2. So this is going to be a good one. But you can't take 6 penalties against Halifax. Halifax is on the power play right now. They're going 26.7%. Blainville had – what's Blainville on the power play? Blainville was at 21%. So, they're at 21%. They went 3 for 6. So either if you're going to take penalties, our penalty kill's got to be a lot better. But you just don't take 6 penalties in a game. And again, of those penalties, some of them were not the best. We're on the power play. Barbashev takes a penalty to kind of negate that to go 5-on-5. But if you guys have any other questions, let me know. I thought a guy that I thought played very well tonight, and a guy that I continue to see progressing, Hugo Marcel. He is playing just as Moran's partner, and I think that allows him to play a little bit more of a different style because Moran is just so smart with the puck offensively as well. Defensively, he's always there. I've been impressed by him the more games that we have. He's coming into quite a puck moving defenseman, and Layla pointed out the other night, like, we got a lot of defensemen that can move the puck, and sometimes that can be troublesome when you've got a bunch of guys that can do a bunch of the same thing. But when it works, it works, and I think he's playing quite well. I like what I saw to Mercier tonight. I was a little shocked that Pavan was on the third line. I thought still in the fourth, give those guys Lounsbury and Smith some veteran leadership. But the preseason before Pavan left, Pavan, Mueller, and Danielle, they were one of the top lines. And tonight Danielle had 2 goals, Mueller had 2 goals, Pavan had a goal. So it's gonna. I originally I wasn't a fan of it. I know looked like Mercier played. I always want to say Martial, and I don't know why. Maybe it's Martial and Mercier. It looked like Mercier got some time up on the second line instead of Cole Bishop, who kind of dropped down to the fourth line. So I think they're trying to just kind of get Mercier going, and maybe the healthy scratch, and now the on the fourth line and then playing up. Maybe we'll see him on the second line in Halifax. I don't know. We'll have to see. Didn't Lawrence play for the Sea Dogs? He did. Yep, he was acquired. He was drafted there. He was drafted first round, 15th overall in 2018. And then he played 4 seasons there, had 100 points last year in 68 games for St. John. And then he was acquired as part of, a whole bunch of trades they made in the offseason to try and recoup some of their assets. Because they don't have a whole lot of draft picks left. So, you look at the weekend, they go 1-2. But in both games, we got Frankie Lepenid in Charlottetown, which is going to be a common theme for Charlottetown opponents until the trade deadline. So if you guys can move them quickly, that'd be good. Just don't move them to Halifax. Just get them out of the division. A lot of teams are going to be Lepenid, and he's the franchise goaltender for that team, and he's keeping them in games. And they got back-to-back wins on the backs of Lepenid. Baie-Comeau, both Baie-Comeau and Charlottetown, the games were 1-goal games, and they were both in it. The stretch against Baie-Comeau where the third one, Steinman's going to want back. The fourth one, just a tough shot. I was trying to think of which one was which. But again, that was a 1-goal game. Wildcats fought back in this one. Outscored them 8-5. That was quite an effort. They outscored their problems, but they can't continue to play this way. And then for the last 3 games, I haven't necessarily liked the game, but I'm glad that our depth showed out tonight as our third and fourth line kind of carried a lot of the goals, especially in the third period. When Darcy comes back, who is going to disappear? If that is $1 million question, we kind of talked about it on the show last Wednesday. I don't know where you put him right now. Because, Iasenza, Hennemel, those guys are playing, those are your minute loggers. Those guys are logging a ton of minutes. Moran's third in that. If Iasenza needs a break, it's Moran and Hamel. They're going. And you got Marcel, who's playing pretty well with Moran. So that's your top 4. That's a pretty tough top 4 to I can see my hand. Pretty tough top 4 to kind of split up. And you've had Grenier in the lineup. You've had Valentine in the lineup. Fortier Jandra, I mean, he's kind of been the fifth defenseman and had a different partner on different nights or, whatever. So I don't know. I don't know if Darcy's a guy that, they're going to ease back in because he's part of the group next year, where he's playing maybe a ton more minutes after Christmas, after the trade deadline, if they can move a defenseman, because we had talked about maybe modifying, not really buying or selling, but modifying. But I mean, you can't expect a guy to miss 4 months and only play 3 months of the season. I don't know how his knee is, but I don't know. Michelle, was Philly on a little shaky at the first? Seemed to settle down. I guess I'm trying to. He may have been. I mean, that first shot from Lawrence, there's not many goaltenders in the league that are stopping that thing. Puck's this wide. I think Lawrence had about this much room to shoot it, maybe even this much. I mean, there was not a lot of room there. And then in the second one, Lawrence on the power play, I believe that one was wide open. But he's making the saves. I mean, he's got 7 wins. 7 wins on the season. He was a top 6 goaltender in the league based on wins. Where is he? So, I mean, this one got away from him in 5, and you're going to have those nights. You're going to have those nights where the goaltender's going to get 5. You just hope your team scores 6. What is he? 7-3 right now. 3.28 goals against average. So, and I mean, the save percentage you probably want to bring up, but he's giving the team a chance to win, and that's all you can ask for from your goaltender. I expect to see him play again 3 of the 4 games or 2 of the 3 games this week between Halifax, Drummondville, and Bathurst. I don't know which one's going to play because I'm not paid to say that. I'm not paid to say anything, actually, but I'm paid to say a few things. What do we got here? DJ Smith, keep an extra defenseman. Like Gabe Smith? No, I'm not. I'm not playing that experiment game. Gabe Smith has to develop, and Gabe Smith can only develop by playing games. And he's getting to the net. His speed's going to come. Playing with that big body is going to come. I mean, he's got 5 assists. They're a quiet 5 assists, but I just don't think you move a guy like that so that you can play Darcy. Darcy has to play defense. Darcy shouldn't be playing forward. I mean, he could. Let me put it this way: had Pavan not come back, then you have Darcy as a utility guy to play the bottom 6 or play defenseman, depending on injuries, healthy scratches, things like that. But you've already got Luke McPhee, who's healthy, injured, or healthy scratched. OJ is going to be out for a bit. You can't have Darcy come back. And I know you want to get him in the lineup, but you can't get him in the lineup just for the sake of getting him in the lineup. When he's on, he's a number 2. Oh, hey, East Coast Wife style. Thank you for joining me. That's my wife who's upstairs, if anyone wasn't sure. You can't just get him in for the sake of getting him in. He has to play defense. When you looked at the preseason, you looked at the end of last season, he was making strides as a quarterback 2 on the power play. ISN's is kind of taking that quarterback 2. Grenier's taking a bit of that quarterback 2, but that's what they needed. They needed a quarterback, and they needed on power play 1 coming into the season, and Moran has beautifully stepped into that role with especially his spin moves. He had a nice one tonight, kind of kicked it behind his foot to himself. So he's established himself as quarterback 1, which no one was not expecting that. So you needed a quarterback 2, and in the preseason, Darcy was that player, and it's an unfortunate injury. It has allowed, guys to get in the lineup with Valentine and Grenier and Fortier Jandra. I just think that Darcy would have been that 4-5. Like, I think it would have been Darcy and Moran, and maybe as ISNs and Hamel as your top 4. So whenever Darcy gets back, and we got no idea because the team is very radio silent on any injuries, anytime, anywhere, forever, even if, just tell us upper body, lower body, he'll be out 3 months. Like, fans will figure it out. Like, we're not stupid. We have sources and ways to figure stuff out. Just there's no need to be secret about it. It is what it is. But from what I heard at preseason, it was 6 to 8 weeks, and based on the old math, which isn't the greatest up here, so we didn't even start till October. So that was one. So we're in the 6th week right now. So you're putting him at 8 weeks. He's still 2 weeks out from being fully healthy. Now that's some guys are healthier. Some guys heal faster than others. So 6 to 8 weeks. We're right at the 6 mark. I know that when he did the Instagram behind the scenes, he was I think he was slowly practicing with the team. So he's probably close. But again, I don't know where you slot him. I don't know who comes out of the lineup. And I'm glad I don't have to figure that out. I just get to talk about figuring that out. We'll let someone else talk about that. I love both our goalies. Yeah, I do too. They are both giving the team a chance to win. I thought Steinman was fine against Bacomo. He had the one through the glove that he probably wants back. But if we're being honest with ourselves, Filion's had a couple of those. Rodrigue had a couple of those. DLC had a couple of those. I'm sure Gravel's had a couple of those. Herdeby's go down the lineup. Gooby and Drummondville go down the lineup. Goalies are going to have that, but it's how they respond. And both guys, when they've kind of given up a week one, it hasn't derailed the team. They've been able to bounce back, give the team a chance to win. And that's why really it doesn't matter which goalie's going to go. I have confidence that we're going to get we have a chance to get a W no matter which goaltender's in. So they get going against Halifax on Tuesday, which we beat Halifax earlier in the year at home. A rare Tuesday game. Both teams play tonight. Both teams play. They don't have any games, so it's not like it's back-to-back. Halifax been rested for quite a while. So it'll be interesting. That one, as much as anything, is kind of a test because Halifax, they're missing LaRue, but other than that, they're about as healthy as they're going to be right now. It's not like Gatineau, who's missing some guys. Sherbrooke, that was really early in the season to call it a litmus test, just because it was 5 games in. We didn't even know where we were going into that one and kind of rattle them off after going two straight losses. So, again, the Wildcats have 2 straight losses. They respond with a win like they did in Drummondville. Will they go for points in 8 straight? That would be wicked, starting with Halifax. But, again, this one I feel is more of an actual kind of litmus test and to see where you are. In the division, we're 5 points behind. No, 4 points behind Halifax in the division. So you get this, you're now 2 points behind. And again, I'm not saying that because, we should be looking at schedules and where we are because Halifax is probably going to buy more than we are. But it'll be a very good test on on how we play. I kind of got to believe it'll be Filion going for us. I don't think we'll see Auger. I think he's, from what I've heard, and I can't confirm nor deny, UBI, as they call it, upper body injury. That's all I'll say. I don't know a timeline, but it sucks because he's a guy that kind of, especially on the second power play, he's got a motor going. So it'll be interesting to see who kind of fills in that Auger spot. I think they had Mercier on that second power play line, which, the Friendship Tour, they're good friends, so you kind of see where that would go. So it'll be a good one in Halifax. Jeremy and I will be back recording. The show will be out on Wednesday. There's no more delays for Halloween or anything like that. And then the 14th. So next, we're trying to line some guests up. So we got this week's show the 9th, and then the show on the 16th. We're gonna have a guest. Can't reveal who the guest is. It's a pretty good guest. And then we're hoping to have a guest for the 23rd show, maybe even one from the Wildcats. We don't know. We'll see if we can get another guest, get another player there. But if not, we're going to work on a different one. So you're going to want to stay tuned for the next couple weeks. Should have a couple good guests on. But again, we're going to look back on this weekend. We're going to preview the upcoming games. The Remembrance Day game against Drummondville. I got my coffee. It's always a special night. I think it's the first time that I've been here that they've done it on Remembrance Day. We won't have the Remembrance Day jerseys, I don't believe. But we've got Drummondville on Friday, Bathurst on Saturday. So get your tickets for those ones. I apologize to anyone who tried to use the promo code if it didn't work. I know some people said the Friday one didn't work when they tried it on Friday. Maybe you had to get it 24 hours before the actual game day. I'm not sure. I don't come up with the codes. I just advertise them when I go grocery shopping. And by what I go grocery shopping, I mean I follow my wife and try to put things in the cart. And she says no, and I go, oh, darn. Kenche, should be a good test Tuesday. Hope we bring our A game. Absolutely. Should be a very good test. I mean, you look at Halifax, they beat St. John 7-0, but you look at the St. John team. A, they're in a rebuild. B, I think they had just about everybody they possibly could, with any experience, injured in that one. As you, by that sound, you can hear my computer's going again. Where's the Lions here? Lions. I know Brady Burns was injured. Cam McDonald wasn't there. Hurtubise wasn't playing. It was where are we going here? Open when done. Let's see the Lions here for Halifax. Michelle would love to see some Q ref or official as a guest. I would love to get a official as a guest. I don't know which one, and I doubt you'd have one during the season. I've reached out to a couple. They like to stay kind of under the radar, obviously. We'll see. We try to have different things throughout the season. So yeah, they had Brady Burns, Charlie DeRoche, Hurtubise, Cam McDonald, Peter Reynolds. So I mean, 7-0 is 7-0, but it was a very young team that was going up against one of their best team in the Maritime Division, as well as one of maybe the top 5 in the league. So, but Halifax did get beat by Cape Breton, so a bit of a shocker there on Saturday night, or Friday night. So it'll be a good test, and these ones are always good, especially in Halifax. That they are. I don't care. They are one of the best fans in the league. They travel well. They're loud. It's a big difference from our rink. So it'll be a tough test for our guys for sure. Brendan Richard, the code did work, and on Ticketmaster you got to click unlock before. Oh, all right. So you had to pick unlock. You used it for all 3 games. Appreciate it. Mills for sure, or Matt Hicks. Oh, I don't doubt we could get Matt Hicks on, because Matt Hicks likes to talk about Matt Hicks. But I'm open to anything, and if we've shown anything, we can have a good time with any kind of guest we can get. We'll have to see. We will have to see, but right now we're just focusing on getting Wildcats players as a Wildcats podcast about the team. So, like Jeremy made in the stick tab, we just appreciate that Dominique was able to answer our emails and kind of get that connection going slowly to have players on the show. So we're hoping to have one. If we do, obviously the show comes out Wednesday just because they have things on Monday that they do. So we got to record on Tuesday. But either way, we're going to see what we can do, see if we can get another show with another Wildcats player on. Maybe we'll get one in November, and we'll maybe get one for our mega Christmas episode in the middle of December. But we'll have to see. As maybe we'll get one of the World Junior guys. Maybe we'll get Tybell on. But again, going around the queue one more time, because I'm starting to get hungry, and I've been on here for 40 minutes. I do like this YouTube with everybody's comments and everything. Wish we could fill the rink the way Halifax does. Found the past few games there was a lot of empty seats. Yeah, I mean, what do we have tonight? Tonight wasn't very full. I think they're averaging about 3,900 fans, which isn't bad, but it's also 21 freaking degrees outside in November. Like, if I didn't have season tickets, I'm not going to a hockey game when it's 21 degrees out. If I can be out with my family doing things that you normally wouldn't be doing on a Sunday afternoon. What do we have today? 3,500. So there are empty seats, and this, I've said it many times, and I'm not afraid to say it. Moncton is a fair weather. They got to be good team, and 2 losses probably hurt the attendance for a Sunday game. But you got to remember too, with the bouncy castles, the parents are downstairs with the kids, so it may look empty, but there may actually be a lot of people there. They're just down in the bouncy castles instead of in their seats. Agree with the fans involved. Yeah, you know what I'm thinking? Everybody who follows the show, loves the show, next year, everybody buy their season tickets in the 108, and we'll just be the loud section. We'll be the fan section, and we'll just start it ourselves. You know, everybody just buy your tickets in 108. Buy your season tickets in 108. It'd be kind of neat to just organically start it. And I guess it's not really organically if I tell everyone to do it. But, you know, if you're a follower of the show, you get your season tickets there. If you're a follower of the show, you buy your seats there. Let's just get everything loud in that section, sit together. They can't stop all of us, right? They can't bring back the Booster Club. But what does it do, right? Like, that's the problem. Now you guys got me going. I was getting ready to go eat. Now you got me going. The Booster Clubs are good, but what does it matter if you can't bring a noisemaker in? You can't bring a flag in. You can't bring things in to the Avenir Centre, right? Like, you can't even bring a flag. Like, they promote the group tickets and they use a picture of a bunch of fans from, I believe, one of the Baie-Comeau series, where 114 was the loud section. And they've got a picture where the guy's waving flags and you got the hard hat with the horn on it. And that's awesome in the playoffs. But why not all year and allowed, you know, and that's not the Wildcats. I truly don't believe that is the Wildcats. I believe that is AMG. I believe that is the Avenir Centre that does not want flags for whatever reason. Maybe we're going to start cross-checking other fans in the face with a big flag on a stick. I don't know what their reasoning is. I don't know. But, you know, you can't advertise group tickets and then you don't allow fans to bring in noisemakers, like other than little bells that people are probably buying. They're probably not bringing them until they got the drum. Like, I stand at 108 to bang that thing behind me. I'd love to bring a drum and bang it. Like, but again, I'm not going to carry it to the Avenir Centre for security to go. You're not allowed in there. Like, it's just, you know. So, and again, it's not AMG. I truly don't believe it's the Wildcats. I'm pretty sure they would love to have noisemakers and flags and, you know, make it a tough environment to play in. And maybe if we ever, knock on wood, get Mr. Irving on the show, we'll ask him about that. But it's just, it's a AMG global building for whatever reason security thing. I don't believe it's a Wildcat, so I can't really fault them on that. But if we all sit in the same section and we all bring noisemakers, they can't stop us. Plus, if we're all in that section, everybody can stop kids from going across and going down. Like, if you've got a child or you know someone that has a child, it's section 107. Security has to do a better job. That's just me being annoyed by standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down, as the kids are coming down, going across, and going down. Drives me nuts. Anyways, let's get to some of the comments here. I was in that section. By the way, I have those helmets and can get them anytime if someone wants them, and flags too. Yes, you can get them anytime, show, but they can't wear them, and that's the issue. 108. Let's go. 100% the Avenir ship on a group of rules. Yep. Why can't the Wildcats give out promotional clappers? Cost. That probably comes down to cost. Why can't they put the intro? Like, that is, God, that is one of the most lackluster intros I mean, come on. You gotta, the music doesn't pump me up once the actual, like, I like the video countdown with all the players. I'm fine. Even though it's the same music from the past 3 years. Anyway. The music is lackluster. Like, what happened to Welcome to the Jungle we had last year? Like, we need something to, that music they play is something that you play on special nights where you're, the breast cancer night, when you're introducing or you're talking over it, where it's kind of low. The first night of the year where you're introducing guys. Like, that's not pump up music in the start of the game. It's just not. And maybe that's why the starts haven't been great, is because they're not ready to go. But again, cost-wise, maybe that's why they don't give out clappers. I can't imagine it's, you know, all that cheap to buy clappers and stuff like that. But again, we need to bring the noise. Connor, someone's got to charge. Someone who's charged $10 for a beer and $18 for a beer, and then asks for a tip. I don't have a problem with the pricing. I don't. It's, you go to any major rink, you're going to see that. And I feel like Tampa just did something. You're going to have that anywhere you go. And as much as Moncton wants to be a small town, a small city, it is, but you've got a world-class facility. And when you have a world-class facility, they get to do the pricing. And again, that's out of the Wildcats' control. So as much as I want them to do certain things for the intro, that's in their control, and banging on the wall, like when Willie's banging on the drum, getting the Go Cats Go, put that on the screen. But the problem with putting that on the screen is what people are seeing at home. So if you're watching the game at home, which you shouldn't, you should be at the Avenir Centre. Oh, you didn't see my smile. I get not everybody can go, but you put Go Cats Go on the screen, that's what somebody at home is going to see who's not cheering that. So I understand that, because I think what's on the Jumbotron is what they see at home once the actual game gets going. But they gotta figure out something, especially in that intro. It's gotta be exciting for the fans. There's no noise, because why? What out of that intro excites you as a fan? Literally nothing. And it is the smallest change. And Michelle, you can maybe talk to this. There's, I don't know, 7 or 8 other guys underneath the ice. When the team comes out, they built a brand new hallway. They added Wildcat Way. They added pictures. They added all the cats in the NHL. They made it just not white concrete. It looks unreal. We saw it in the pink game. Jeremy and I were able to look underneath. Show that off. And to show that off, you just give one of the extra guys, hey, hold this camera. That's my camera. Hold this camera. And it just feeds into the thing. And fans see that. Fans get the excitement of the players coming out. And then as soon as 5 or 6 of them come out, just go to the shot of the actual cat. But something's got to be done in the intro. Maybe that's why it's so quiet off the top. I don't know. But the noisemakers, we'd love to make noise. We can't bring them in. And nobody's going to spend $7 every game to buy a new noisemaker. It makes no sense. And you've got, whatever. Maybe there's some sponsor out there that can help out with noisemakers. Just a thought. There probably is, but you got to go find them. Fans can't control pricing, but we can control atmosphere. 100%, Ken. You can control the atmosphere. And it's been better. And it's been better because of the organ. And I'm going to give that guy a ton of props. He figured it out tonight. He played the Law and Order music when they got the penalty, when the other team got the penalty. And we were going on the power play. They're the criminals. He figured that out. You can ask later. I was so pumped for that. I was like, he got it right. Great constructive feedback, but also in the same breath, they're doing a great promo team. Yeah, they are doing so much better. And their social media has gotten so much better. I mean, they have an advertisement for the product of the game. They never had that last year. And it wasn't just a picture. It was actually a small video of it. They're asking songs from the DJ. They're asking, look, I don't think the DJ plays the music in between. If he did, he really should play anytime there's a long music. And I don't think it's the DJ behind us. I think he just does the intermissions. But man, like Sweet Caroline, Living on a Prayer, we're halfway there. The first whistle after the 10-minute mark in the second period. We're halfway there. That's how you get fans singing. And that's what the Colorado Avalanche did. They just the DJ randomly thought he heard all the small things or somehow, and he was just like, that'd be a pretty cool song at the rink. And he just tried it. And he just tried it the next time at one of the times in the third period. Just tried it again. And eventually 19,000 people are singing all the small things. Just consistency. And that's what the organ's done. The organ is consistently playing music to get the fans involved. And that's what I like to see. Yes, but couldn't they put in the rotating part? Oh, that moved. On the bottom of the wall boards, the boxes. I don't remember what that was about, but maybe they could. The organ is a nice touch. The organ player loves it. Yeah, the organ is a very nice touch. GoPros would work. Yeah, GoPros would work. I'm assuming you're talking about the underneath. Hook a GoPro to the wall, like to the thing that shoots down. Something needs to be done. Put it on a tripod. Like, it doesn't have to be professional. You're not walking around. We're a big market team, but it doesn't have to be professional. It just has to be better. That's all I'm asking for. Just better. Put it on a tripod. Just show the team walking out. That's just something you do that one time, and that casual fan is going to be pumped by that new intro, and he's going to talk about it, and he might come back to the next game. And that's the issue with the flex tickets for the non-season ticket holders. Once you get them, it's really tough to keep them because are they entertained? I was talking to Aiden after I mentioned that you should be doing power packs where it's not so much flex tickets, but it's a New Brunswick rival power pack where you're getting St. John, Bathurst. You're getting a ticket to those 2 games, and then you're getting a ticket to a random Val-d'Or game on October last Thursday. And he said, that's great. You have to try things because, they're trying things. Like, they got the teacher nights where it's $4 or $8 tickets or $4 tickets, $4 beer. Quebec just had $8 tickets for everyone. Bathurst has free tickets for all kids. Now that's sponsored by McDonald's for them, but it's still something different. And I know the Wildcats are trying these different things, but they keep advertising the group packs and the 10 packs. Okay, but what are you doing for the guy that doesn't have kids or the couple that wants to go to the game or the 2 buddies that wants to go to a game? Anyways, I was talking about him with the power packs, and in theory that works. But if you have that power pack, so you get St. John, you get Bathurst, and let's say you get Quebec January 11th, and something comes up January 11th, you can't make that hockey game. Do you really want to go through to change the ticket? Like, you know what I mean? Like, at least flex, you have the ability to move the tickets around. And that was a very good point. You don't know until you try it. And it's a lot easier to go flex packs than it is to nail a power pack down for fans because things come up. And I know the power pack situation or why I think it might work. I did it with the Oilers way back in the day. I put my name in a lottery to win a power pack, and I ended up getting Anaheim, Minnesota, and Pittsburgh because I really wanted to see Pittsburgh. So that was the only way to get to see Pittsburgh if you weren't a season ticket holder was put your name in. I ended up winning. So I had to make the trek from Calgary to Edmonton for 3 games to make it work. And it's a pain, don't get me wrong. So I'm not saying it's easy to do. I'm just trying to give new ideas because you want new fans, different fans, engaged fans. And I'll give the Wildcats a ton of credit. They were doing a ton of good things on the ice with the organ, with the DJ, even the guy and the girl in house. They're trying to get people moving around. They're introducing the team into the second and third period, which is good. Bucks win. Wow! And my dinner's ready. Oh, cool. All right. So I'm going to be pretty close to finishing this up. The Cats go on the rotating billboard. Rotating billboards work. They're probably expensive. And, the Wildcats are spending their money on that sound thing at the end of the periods, the start of the periods, the decibel meter. That can't be cheap to keep replacing it because we keep breaking it, everyone. Student nights, more theme jerseys would be nice. Theme jerseys, yeah. If just theme night jersey wise, go look at the OHL. It can get out of control. I know Seattle's got. I feel like I don't know what I'm actually talking about. I feel like I do have a great wife. Not only because she's a good cook, but she allows me to sit down here for an hour and gabble. And she supports going to a lot of hockey games, 34 date nights a year. You can go to look at the OHL. I know the Seattle Thunderbirds. Every game is a theme night, and that can get a little taxing. They don't always need the jerseys. I've always said home, road, an alternate third, your pink in the rink, Remembrance Day, and maybe one other theme night, like a Star Wars or the Halloween one or a Marvel night or something for the kids, right? Like do a Marvel night where you've got special Marvel jerseys and all the kids dress up as their favorite Marvel character. Do that on a Sunday. I know that Quebec just did a country night. It seems a little silly coming from Alberta, but it's a big thing out here. They crushed Country Night. I mean, they had a freaking concert in the foyer of the Videotron Center. So Quebec doesn't do things wrong. Let's just go with that. But those should be at like 5-6 jerseys, maybe a year. And again, I mean, you've got your proceeds going to breast cancer. You'd have your proceeds going to the Remembrance Day. And if you're not going to do Remembrance Day, which I understand, you don't always want that kind of type of, like, you don't always want the same jersey or, to get mundane with the jerseys. Like, do the Remembrance Day game, the teddy bear toss game, do a teddy bear jersey. Calgary has had the simplest teddy bear jersey for the past, I think, 10, 15 years. And all it is literally they put a Santa hat on the logo. That's it. You look at this. They got a Santa hat on the logo, and they'd have some snow on the here and some snow here. I guess I can show it with this one. Put some snow. Not really good with the upside down. Put some snow on his hand. Maybe some snow in here. That's all they've done. They just have a Santa hat on the top of the Hitman and snow, and they put snow on the numbers, and that's it. It's not a crazy new jersey. I know Edmonton's had full-on teddy bear jerseys. Other teams have had different kinds of teddy bear themes where they look fuzzy. They just do a simple, even if you put a simple Santa hat on this jersey, and that was your game every year. I mean, it's easier to do in Calgary when you have 19,000 fans, and that game sells out quick. And that is a massive game for that. But just something simple like that. If you're not going to do Remembrance Day jerseys, something simple like that. Theme jerseys. Student nights, I mean, maybe they can't always work with UDM, but why not try and work with UDM where it's okay? They got one more Wednesday home game. January 11th is a Wednesday night home game. It's the only Wednesday night home game they have other than March. But make that your student night. Start advertising that sucker now. $8 tickets for all students. If you show a valid UDM ID, it's $2 beer or $3 beer, whatever. But if you go to that game, that ticket makes you eligible for a free or a discount on a UDM game, because those games are really good. And that's kind of something you can do with both hockey programs, is student nights where student discounts and students at UDM get free beer. Who doesn't love that? But the tickets for the actual Wildcat fans as well gets you a discount to UDM and allows people to go see that kind of hockey. Maybe you do it on a night where UDM plays St. FX with Hudson, Stewart, right? Like, that would work. And that's not always going to work, but it could work this time. Just, I don't know if that would even work with the two. I don't know how they work together. But again, I like to think of things. And you guys have some good ideas on here. But now he's stuck with me wearing the lucky outfit. Yeah. Stop telling her you love the outfit. Stop telling her you love the outfit. $8 student night. Pack the house. Absolutely. It doesn't have to be $8. It can be $12, $10, something. Something like that. But again, you guys like to get me on tangents. I don't mind it sometimes. But again, my dinner's getting cold, so I got to get rolling here. So going around the queue one more time. 7-0 Halifax victory over St. John. 6-2 Val-d'Or over Gatineau. Quebec 3-1 over Rimouski. Drummondville 2-1 in the shootout over Shawinigan. And Victoriaville gets a 6-2 victory over Ren-Noranda. And here at the Avenir Centre, the Wildcats get an 8-5 victory over Blainville. Wildcats travel to Halifax on Tuesday. And if you want to catch that one on CHL TV, great. And if you don't, want to see some good hockey, head over to the Superior Plain Plex Center, whatever I call it. The Flyers are in town. The game's also on Facebook, where yours truly and Mike Sanderson will have the call. But the next broadcast here on YouTube, hopefully to have phone calls to take some of them, although this chat thing's working pretty well as long as we get more people in it, which hopefully we will. Drummondville this Friday, the Remembrance Day game at 7 p.m. And then they go again Saturday night, 7 p.m. against Bathurst. So get your tickets now. Tell your friends. Tell them to join here on YouTube. That's it for me. I'm going to have some dinner. You guys have a great night. Oh, sound button.
alive. All these feelings seem to wrap me in a shroud. Hold on empty. Stole my breath when I was blind. I tried too hard from faith, but honesty has given me away. When I close my eyes, I see your light. Visions unforgiving, just not right.